Today, the Oasis classic Wonderwall turns 29 years old. It's not quite 30, but close enough.
And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you.
So what is the history of this classic Oasis track? How did I first hear it? And how do you play it on a guitar? This is my deep dive into Oasis and Wonderwall.
And after all, you're my Wonderwall.
Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the channel. So Wonderwall turns 29 years old this week. We are on the cusp of the 30th anniversary of that track and the What's the Story Morning Glory album in 2025. But you know what? I thought this would be a great song to cover on the Oasis Deep Dive. And this is really the song that introduced me to Oasis when it came out in 1995. I thought it'd be cool to break down the song, the history of it, the various releases of the song, how I first heard it, and even show you the guitar chords for good measure. So let's do a deep dive into Wonderwall. So Wonderwall was written by Noel Gallagher and first released as track 3 on the Oasis sophomore album What's the Story Morning Glory, released on October the 2nd, 1995. And of course the song was released as the third UK single from the album later that month on October the 30th, 1995. Now Noel has said a couple of different things about the song and what it's about over the years. Initially when it came out back in the day, he said it was about his girlfriend at the time and his later his wife, Miss Meg Matthews, and then he changed it up over the years after they eventually got divorced. I think he backpedaled a little bit and said it had more of a universal meaning to it about leaning on somebody and needing somebody in your life, you know, your Wonderwall. So who knows what it's really about, but it was originally called Wishing Stone before Noel titled it Wonderwall in reference to the George Harrison album of the same name that came out in 1968 called Wonderwall Music. And of course there's a famous story about Wonderwall that's been told over the years about how Noel gave Liam a choice about which song to sing. He wrote Wonderwall, he wrote Don't Look Back in Anger, two of the biggest Oasis songs of all time, and he gave Liam a choice about which song to sing. It could be Wonderwall or Don't Look Back in Anger. And of course, Liam ended up choosing Wonderwall, and it's an amazing thing that he chose this song because his vocal is absolutely incredible on this track. And as great as the song is in and of itself, obviously a super well written, super well done song, it really is Liam Gallagher's blinding vocal on this track that makes Wonderwall what it is. It just takes it to the next level. Absolutely incredible. It really is something special and one of the best Liam Oasis vocals. Wonderwall was recorded at Rockfield Studios in Wales along with the rest of the What's the Story Morning Glory album in May of 1995, and it was produced by Owen Morris and Noel Gallagher. And of course there's always the story about Noel Gallagher at Rockfield Studios recording the acoustic guitar for Wonderwall on an actual wall on the site of the studio. Can you really tell when you're listening to the song that was recorded on a wall? No, you can't, but it's still a cool factoid. And when it comes to the band's singles and their B-sides, Wonderwall might be their best single overall. Not only does it feature their biggest hit of all time and the most well-known Oasis song of all time, it also features an incredible lineup of B-sides. Round Our Way is an all-time Oasis classic. It has those big horns, that big rock and roll feel, that awesome harmonica, and it's really a great song about playing football. And then we get the Swamp Song, which is the complete studio version of the two transition tracks that we hear on the Morning Glory album. This one is just a barn burner of a song. Totally amazing. When they open up with that song on the video of Main Road, it's no less than just absolute fucking magic. And then of course you have the Master Plan. I've talked about that song so many times on different rankings and different lists. It really is one of the best Oasis songs of all time. Really one of the best songs ever written. An absolute masterpiece. And it's a B-side to Wonderwall. That part has always just blown my mind. It should have been a huge hit in and of itself, but you know what? That just goes to show you the quality of the songwriting and what Oasis was doing back in 95 and 96. It's just pure Oasis awesomeness. And those three B-sides make up the backside of the Wonderwall single. It could be the best single they've ever released. The cover of the single of Wonderwall was done by photographer Michael Spencer Jones, of course, and Oasis sleeve designer Brian Cannon at Microdot. It was shot on Primrose Hill in London, with Liam actually being the original figure, being on the cover of the single, but later they changed that photo to a picture of a woman who actually worked for Creation Records at the time. And you'd think that with it being the biggest Oasis song of all time that it would have reached #1 on the UK singles charts, but it didn't. It only got as high as #2, which is, to me, one of the biggest musical crimes of all time. Wonderwall not coming in at #1, absolute blasphemy. And in terms of officially released versions of Wonderwall that we've gotten over the years, we actually haven't gotten that many versions of Wonderwall that have been released in comparison to some of the other tracks from the Oasis catalog. Of course, we have the studio version that was released on the What's the Story Morning Glory album and the Wonderwall single. Then we got some live versions over the years. We got Wonderwall recorded live at Wembley from Familiar to Millions in 2001. And then we have the live versions released from Nebworth. We got one version on What's the Story Morning Glory, the deluxe edition 2014, and then pretty much the exact same version released on the Nebworth live album that was released in 2021. But by far, my favorite version of Wonderwall is the live version, not officially released, but the live version that Noel performed on the band's Heath and Chemistry tour in 2002. He did it in the style of the singer Ryan Adams, who had covered Wonderwall at his own shows. So Noel went and covered the Ryan Adams version of Wonderwall. So he did a cover of his own song, but it's an amazing version. If you can look it up on YouTube, it's probably my favorite version of Wonderwall ever.
Today was gonna be the day they were gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you.
And Wonderwall is an especially special Oasis song for me because that's the song that introduced me to Oasis and started me on this road of being an Oasis fan. I remember it well. It was the fall of 1995 going into the winter of 1996. And when that song was all over Canadian radio, just like it was everywhere else in the world, I used to hear it on the radio in the morning when my mom drove me to school. And I soon became obsessed with hearing Wonderwall in the car on those drives. I hadn't yet bought a cassette or a CD of Oasis, but then the next single that they released as a radio single here in Canada and North America, Champagne Supernova, that was the song that sealed the deal. So it was game over for me after that. Oasis officially became my favorite band. I went to Toronto. I remember I was in a Tower Records in Toronto in 1996, and I bought the Morning Glory album, and I've never looked back. So yeah, to say that Wonderwall is a special Oasis song for me would be an understatement. It's absolutely the reason why I became an Oasis fan, and really it is their biggest and most well-known song. If you ask people what's the Oasis song that you know the most, what is the song that you associate with Oasis, I think most casual people would say Wonderwall. So not only is it a great song for the casual fans, it really has a deep meaning for me as a hardcore Oasis fan. And of course, it's been the go-to song for acoustic singers in college dorm rooms everywhere. So anyway, here's Wonderwall. And then if you want to learn how to play Wonderwall on guitar, it's actually super easy. And really, who wouldn't want to learn how to play Wonderwall on guitar? You can play it anywhere. It's a great song to play on acoustic guitar. So you're going to want to grab your acoustic. I think it's best on acoustic. That's how they recorded it originally. You're going to want to grab your acoustic. You're going to tune it to standard. And then you're going to do the Noel Gallagher special. You're going to grab your capo or capo or however you pronounce it. You're going to take that and you're going to put it on your second fret. And then when it comes to the chords of the song, one of the most famous chord progressions of all time, it's pretty much kind of the same general formation of chords that you're going to keep throughout the song. So you're always going to kind of keep your third finger and your pinky finger on the B and the E strings at the top. You're going to do an E minor, keeping those E and B strings covered like that. You're going to do an E minor, then you're going to go to a G, then you're going to go to a D, and then you're going to go to an A, and that is the main acoustic chord pattern for Wonderwall. Then you could go to the bridge of the song. You're going to go to a C, still keeping that in that main formation with your pinky and your third finger on the E and B like that. So it wouldn't be like a C major like that. I guess that would be more of a C add 2 or C add 9 like that. And you're going to go to C add 9, D, E minor. And then, of course, there's that little bit where it's I'd like to say to you, but I don't know how. That's going to go C, D, G, D, E minor, D, A. Got that? It's kind of a little bit there, a little bit of a run going on there, but you have these. So there are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. That's the part of that song. And then for the chorus, it's really, really super easy. So you're going to go to C, E minor, G, back to E minor.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my Wonderwall.
And that is it, guys. That is my deep dive into Oasis and Wonderwall. It was a lot of fun. It's a song that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to a lot of Oasis and music fans across the world. So let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what your memories of Wonderwall are, or the first time that you heard the song, and your various memories associated with the album. Let me know what other Oasis songs you'd like me to cover here on the Oasis Deep Dive. Make sure to toss me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Make sure to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future Oasis videos and future videos in general here on the channel. And make sure to follow me on social media platforms, across platforms. You can follow me at Nick Chino Music. But I'll see you guys again for another video here on the channel. Until then, rock on, everybody.